Welcome to the channel. Today, we're going to work on our 95 Ford Explorer. Get it ready for some woods action. Don't worry, it's not as boring as you may think. We received a little gift. And we're going to try to jam these on this with a stock suspension. It should be very interesting. Very interesting. I think a good place to start is getting rid of these fenders. Let's get to work. Okay, with the fender removed, we were able to get it on there. I'm a little surprised. I thought it would be more of a fight than this. Obviously, we got lots of rubbing problems here. We're gonna have to remove a lot of things to get the wheels to turn, you know. But it's on there. I was really worried about it hitting the ball joint. And you can see there, it is very close to the ball joint. It technically clears. I do have a set of 1-inch spacers, and maybe I'll use them on the front if I don't need them in the back. But hey, a good start. Wrestling some 38 by 16 wides on some stock rims. That was a fun battle, but I did it. I'm all sweaty, but I did it. It's possible. As you might imagine, a little bit of a tight fit on the back. We're gonna have to do some trimming before we can even test fit this on. My biggest concern is that it's gonna hit the leaf spring on the tire. Everything else I can cut away. So we'll see. I'm gonna see if I can't get away with just cutting along here, making as much room as possible. But if I have to, I'm willing to just cut this whole thing right here, right where this tire's gonna fit, and then just get rid of all the body from here back. It's almost already gone anyways, right? Okay, I've cut away quite a bit here. Still doesn't fit. It's been hitting this part of the body that sticks out farther than the frame. Let's get it in perspective there. So that's what I'm actually running into. Now I do have some 1-inch spacers. I might go ahead and use them here. I really want to keep this. It's going to keep the mud off the back of my head. You're sitting right there. I don't want just an open cab mudslinging, but if that's what I have to do, that's what we're going to do. But let's try the 1-inch spacers first. Well, the 1-inch spacers, it does fit. It rubs on a lot of stuff. It's all just sheet metal. Stuff I can clear out. Now the problem is going to be when this rear end flexes around. The front end I'm not as concerned because it just doesn't move much with those torsion bars. But the rear is going to move quite a bit. So this could be a problem. It's just sheet metal though. Okay, we're being danger a little bit. A little danger. It's fine, guys. But I got the jack as far as it'll go. And it is under the suspension. So this side should be compressed. Doesn't look like it moved much, but still just clipping a little bit of sheet metal. Not a big deal. For the most part, she spins. I think that's going to do. Okay, so we proved the concept, to myself at least, that these tires are going to work on here. We're going to have a little bit of rubbing and trimming. That's okay, I can deal with that, no big deal. This will work. Now, the bigger elephant in the room is this engine. It does run, but it's got a clear miss in it. Now, one thing I haven't checked on this thing is the push rods. I guess they can be problematic in these OHV 4 liters. So I'm going to just go ahead and tear it down to the push rods under the valve covers there. Bit bigger job than you'd imagine. You got to take a whole bunch of stuff off. So let's get to work. the valve covers off of it, and I've already cranked it, and all the valves are doing valvulating stuff. So I went ahead and pulled all the plugs out, and I got thumb compression on each of them. Hard to tell if it's good compression. I don't have a compression tester, but there's definitely something coming out of each of those holes. We have compression. These are the plugs I took out. I'm not much of a plug reader, but I did mess around with this side. This is the driver's side. They're easy to get to. These all seem to be, I mean, I don't know, fire. And this one has a crack in it. Maybe that's the cause of our misfire and I tore all this apart for nothing? I don't know. But these are different brands. These are all NKGs, NGKs. And they all look pretty good. So maybe this is our misfire. This would have been driver's side, very rear. Well, I don't know. But one of the reasons I thought push rod is because I went ahead and tore the red Explorer apart in a video I haven't posted. I might post it, I might not. It was kind of boring, but I tore it down. And here's one of the push rods. They're all about this way. They're pretty worn. So maybe a valve's not getting open enough to catch fire. I don't know. Now, I made a video for this, tearing it down, trying to figure out what was wrong with it. I had more problems than I had considered. Here's a little clip from that video. Quick backstory on the current situation of this Explorer. It did run when it was parked. Not very well, but it ran. And then it got rained, snow, and it filled up the engine with water. I pulled the dipstick, it was full of water. Then it froze real hard. Now there's no water in it. It went somewhere. Okay, time to play a little bit of good news, bad news. Good news. Ugh. Not locked up. Hooray. Bad news. We got a big giant crack all through the oil pan. Mother Nature will do that. So I made that video with no real conclusion to it, except the Red Explorer is pretty much well done. I went ahead and shifted my focus to this one. Even though it had all the same conditions as the red one, it didn't get a bunch of water down the engine. But the red one did. But hey, whatever, that happens. Now I did get a compression tester from Amazon there, and I think what I figured out is that this adapter is too fat to fit down the spark plug hole and catch any threads on the head. So I guess I need an adapter for my adapter, but sometimes that happens when you buy cheap tools. Guess we're gonna have to rely on the thumb check. I also bought some spacers. These are 2-inch spacers. So I have 1-inch spacers and 2-inch spacers, a pair of each. So mix and match from front and rear. I think I should make these 38s work. Okay, I still kind of think we have a compression issue. What I'm going to do is crank it without the plugs in it, and I'm going to put all the plugs back in it, crank it again. It sounds a little different. Here's without plugs. And this is what it sounds like with plugs in it. Maybe I'm just hearing stuff, but I hear a little whoof, whoof, whoof. Not sure. Okay, we got her all back together. Let's see how she runs. See if we fixed anything or just took a bunch of stuff apart for nothing. Here we go. Leaked a lot of oil down in the manifold, so that's burning off. But other than that, I think we actually did it. I'm not entirely sure what I fixed, but I did it. It runs. Maybe it was just that cracked spark plug. I don't know.
One thing I forgot to mention when I was doing the thumb compression test is it was blowing chunks of carbon all over my thumb and stuff. I don't know if a piece of carbon passed and it allowed a valve to open, or maybe we just had a cracked plug in the back and that was not firing. Whatever it is, it's working now. Problem solved. Another problem this thing has is that from sitting so long, the steering rack has kind of got a tight spot in it. Just a little rough spot where it's hard to turn through the power steering. Now I parked this, I couldn't find the power steering cap, so I made one. And there's some in there. I bet if we top that off, put the tires in the air, run it back and forth, we should be able to free up that problem. Okay, here's a little view of the steering wheel and how much force I got to use to turn this thing. Now, tires are off. The front end's off the ground. There's no pressure on this wheels. I know it's not running, but it actually doesn't make a difference. It's taken a lot of force to get past these rough spots. Go ahead and fire it up. Oh, yeah. Doesn't seem to make much difference with it running. I did go ahead and flush the old fluid out of this thing, see if it was a problem with the pump. It seems the pump's working. I don't know, it could also be broke. Could have a rack and a steering pump problem. At least we got a proper lid. But we're gonna have to press forward. I'm not sure. And with tires, momentum on it, it'll steer. It's going to be a little awkward, but we got to press forward. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of these tires. Now, this is the one I had for mock-up. It leaks real bad. You want to guess why? So hopefully I don't have to mount and dismount that again. I'm going to see how fast it leaks out. Maybe we can get by with it, but quite a bit of tread there. Pretty good. Got the other one. Also, quite a bit of tread. Pretty darn good. Even this one looks okay. I mean, we're down pretty thin over here. Obviously had an alignment issue. It's way more on this side than it is on this side. But still, decent tread. All right. Then there's this one. Pretty much no tread. But it did hold air. Should be just fine. Especially on the front end. What am I going to do with all that traction? Break front end parts, right? Got all these tires mounted. Here's the really bald one. Seems to have a bit of a crown on it. That's kind of odd. Hopefully it doesn't blow up. It is a bias ply, not a radial. So we'll see. Okay, we're up on jack stands. The front tires are bolted in. We're going to go ahead and crank the wheel and see where it hits. It's definitely going to hit, but where? I don't know. What do you think? Right here? That's where my money's at. Let's go ahead and crank it. Yep, right into her. Over here in the passenger side, looks like we actually got a lot more room. It might be just because the tread's gone on this tire, but looks like we have a lot of room. We're still going to have to remove quite a bit. I'm thinking that line in the sand there as a start. Might have to even go up and get rid of some of this. We'll see. Okay, we cut that off. Now we got a little bit more room. Let's see where we are at when we crank the wheel. Looks like we're hitting right there, but that's a whole bunch more than we had before. I mean, it looks pretty good from here, doesn't it? Now I decided to ditch the 1-inch spacers. I went ahead and ordered another pair of 2-inch spacers for the back. It'll just make everything easier, fit better. Okay, new wheel spacers installed. Let's see if these bad boys will fit. Oh yeah, they're on there. Let's pull this thing out in the sunlight and get a good look. Well, I backed over the jack, no harm done. Big tires. Actually didn't mean to do that. But yeah. Oh, we got an angry shop chicken. Ma'am, calm down. Okay. Now we do got some more to trim over here. You can see we already added some tread to this bulb tire. It's not that bad though. It's not deep or anything. But yeah, pretty good. We're close. We still got some more work to do. So this is great. Okay, went ahead and trimmed the little piece that was scraping our tire there. Let's take this thing on a little test drive around the driveway here and see how bad it really is. Okay, not bad. Felt pretty good from the driver's seat. I think this is going to be good enough. That's all the more sharper I need to turn. It's probably still going to rub, don't get me wrong, but that's okay. Yeah, I forgot to air up that tire. I have to get on that. Still need to put the air tube on with the mass airflow sensor, make it run a little bit better. I had a little stumble there as I was driving it around, but that should be cleared up by the mass airflow sensor. And this thing should be ready for the woods. As far as other projects go, the F-250 Explorer, it's here in the garage. I'm ready to get started on it again. I got a little bit of work to do there. Get a cooling system hooked up. Get this thing starting right. And addressing that steering shaft. As far as other projects go, the Honda's ready to go to the junkyard. I'm done with it. Stripped some parts off it, sold on eBay. And we got the Red Explorer. A lot of good parts there. I got a lot of Explorers laying around, so we're going to keep it around. But it's probably done with its time in the woods and moving around on its own power. Mercury, engine smoked. It's pretty much done for right now unless I get another power plant in that thing. Subaru, took it out the other day. Drove it around, felt great. Then came out the next morning, started up to move it, and the clutch was gone. Gone. You can drop it in gear and rev it up, and it'll move a little bit. But the clutch is officially smoked on the old Subaru. Speaking of smoked clutches, we got the blue one still in the weeds here. It still needs a clutch, couple wires. Probably should tear that front end down again. It's not quite right, but haven't given up on this thing yet. My apologies for the gap in videos. It's been a little discouraging, gotta be honest. I've been working hard on this channel and hasn't gone really far. Now, I love trashing my shop, working on junky old vehicles just to bash around in the woods, and that's why I still do it. I don't think I'll ever give up on YouTube. I love making the videos. I have a lot of fun. I enjoy it. But success hasn't been happening. That's okay. Maybe I gotta change up what I'm doing. I don't know. If y'all have any suggestions, please let me know. Like, comment, share the video, subscribe if you're not. Help me grow this channel. Here in July will be 13 years of Clyde Dog 72. I enjoyed every moment of it. It would be a dream come true if I could do this for a living. But if that's the goal, I'm going to have to make some kind of drastic change, I assume. Hard work, dedication, and having fun while doing it hasn't got me there yet. And if I'm going to succeed, I gotta change something. I don't know what that is, but I gotta change something. And of course, the reality is I could do a lot more with more money, but you gotta make the money first, right? But that'll about wrap up this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.